Right. Anytime soon, please. Here we go. Wow. That took a while. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Comic Menu. As you know, Dell is taking the rest of this month off for some personal matters. So you have me. That's right. I have a special co host to go with me. Let's bring that guy out now. Where is he at? Here he goes. Look at that. Blast from the past.
Hey, blast from the past is no doubt. I have not
Yeah,
been on in a minute. Kind
you're
of been
busy
doing some
being
Disney stuff.
adulting over here. Then we
Yeah.
have here Phil from a true one true nerd king. We all know that guy from the IG. Look at that. Then we got this guy. Oh, Theo, always raging, always being Theo. How you doing, pal?
Gentlemen, how
Uh,
are you?
good, good.
Very, very
Um,
good.
so before I start off talking here, I just want to give a little shout out here, and it's a little sad news, but so Phil and Theo, just let you guys know, Abby is now taking over. We have a nursing home that watches us every Tuesday night,
Religiously.
uh, religiously. They don't miss a show from at Prairie Meadows in Texas, and
Wow.
they all get in the commissary there, and they go 20 deep, and they've been watching us all year, last year, and now this year, and they have a moderator who would take their questions and stuff like that. And she types it into YouTube and all that. Well,
Oh, that's pretty
uh,
cool.
yeah, no, it's extremely cool. Um, she the uh, she passed away.
Oh, sorry.
Um, yeah, no, it was very sad. You know, it's one of those things. But she sent us letters, and Angie, she sent us letters just she written before this. So she had cancer, and she saw it coming, and the sweetest letters, and it was the sweetest thing. So I just want to my condolences from the Comic Menu family to the family of Angie and to everybody, as she called her little angels at the nursing home. But now we have another person here, and who's going to be doing all the good stuff. So it continues. The old folks like the Comic Menu. What can I say? You know.
Are they
Nice.
I
Team Dell or Team Caesar?
Yeah, they split. They're either Team Dell, who's not with us right now, and then or Team Caesar, and of course they like me
Or
better.
maybe
Now
it's
you
just
guys
we're
can
all
figure
old
out
now.
Team Phil or Team Rage
Oh, is
tonight.
that what it is?
Oh,
Oh.
it's just two sides of the same coin. There is no, unfortunately.
See how that
We
played?
just
Look
live
at
to
Yeah,
that.
it's like a
disagree.
yin yang. No matter what, you flip it around, turn it upside
Exactly.
down.
You can do it
It's
whatever you
Wings of
want.
the same damn bird. Got
And
it.
unfortunately we just like to disagree with each other just honestly for the shits and giggles. He'll just be like, well, I don't know, I liked it. I'll be like, well, I don't know, I didn't like it. Well,
yeah, no, it's
it's kind of
crap.
Well,
It's
it's how
crap.
we live.
there's a lot of people who are new to you guys. So why don't we just go around and Phil just can introduce what you do and all that good stuff. Like why they're probably going like, so why do these guys on the show?
So that's a good question. I don't know why I'm on this show really, or actually on and social
On
media in
editing.
general. This is probably like this is a face for radio. I should just be hiding behind a microphone. I pride myself on that. I have Theo to be the pretty one, and I'm just the I'm the hyper talented one. No, no. I'm just a goofy nerd. I spend most of my time on Instagram. I have been a long time comic book collector. I'm a huge sci-fi buff. I do love to. I do love my memes. But you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Especially here with Theo, Comics and Chaos. We kind of started hanging out at conventions. He It took him a while to warm up to me. I remember introducing myself to like a year before. Took a year of me being on Instagram, and then all of a sudden it's just like, maybe I'll talk to this fool.
It was kind of like the scene when Professor Xavier and Magneto approached Wolverine in the bar. You know,
Oh, is that what it is?
Oh yeah, it was 100% going. It's like he's just like,
fuck off.
go fuck off. I'm like, okay, all right, peace, I'm out. Then all of a sudden he's calling me at home. Like, what? Like, who calls anymore? Like, it says It says Rage Theo on my phone. I'm like, calling me. I'm like, oh. Then I learn as we get to know each other, the man has hands that are full 24/7. So he can't text and write like most people. He has to call. So he's the only person I accept calls from. Everybody else has to text.
Calling's becoming a lost art.
Well, it's not on this dude.
That's all I do, man. That's all I do is call. So,
But yeah, that's me in a nutshell. I'm just a regular sci-fi comic book nerd. I work. I run studios professionally by day, and I goof off with this kind of stuff by night.
All right. What about you, there, Theo? Where do I start?
Don't be modest.
Yeah,
Come
my
on.
name's Rage. I like to party with comic books. No, I'm I'm a full-time stay-at-home dad of 4. Shout out to the fam.
That's
I
like
sell
2
comic
jobs. That's not even.
books.
That's not even
I sell
stay-at-home dad.
comic books
Theo.
full time on Instagram, on eBay Live. I travel out to people's homes. I help them sell their collections. I just started doing consignments, and yeah, I deal in comics, collectibles, graded, raw, you name it.
You
And
know,
everything John Wick.
Yeah, everything in between. So yeah.
so what do you guys? So okay, well let's get into this. So 2024. If you could sum up 2024 in one word, what would it be for you guys, including you, James?
Mine is
One word.
massive changes. Changes all day long. Personally and comic wise. So yeah. Massive swings.
How about you two?
I think for Theo and I, there was a bit of a hiatus. We kind of took a nice little last half of the year. We kind of took off, kind of just doing our own thing for a little bit because we just needed the break. I mean, we had been doing these sales. I mean, we had over like $430,000 in sales prior to. We just decided to take a little bit of time, getting a few things lined up. But I mean, as far as last year goes, I really for me, it's been mostly social media. Really, kind of my accounts have taken off as far as things go. So I'm at about 150,000 now. I'm focused more on Instagram. I'm starting to get into YouTube, creating more general content for the stuff Theo and I have going on. We're getting back into things. Like he said, he does these touring sales, and I do those. I am his giant white shadow that goes around and helps out with things. I'm basically his Lurch, right? So he's just like, Lurch, get the thing on the high shelf for me, and Phil go gets the thing on the high shelf. But no, it's been a good year, but I'm more content focused as far as things go. So that's really been my year of kind of, talking to the news as far as trends or things like that go for organizations, or for my own, interest of the community that follows me.
So setting up for 2025.
Yeah.
A lot of it's been setting up for 2025. We've got new studios that I've been working on and running, and I've done a lot of stuff here at the house that Theo knows about, but a lot of other people aren't going to really see probably until good 2 or 3 months from now.
All right. What about you, Rach?
One word for 2024, right?
Baby.
Yeah. Oh my
busy. I'd have to go with busy. I mean, changing was definitely an aspect because the market was ever changing so quickly. So if you weren't already ready for it or didn't already have the inventory pertaining to it, you were constantly playing catch up, as has been the last 4 years since COVID. So in that aspect, it was a little bit the same. Although I will say, and this is from just me selling every day, so like I just kind of see the types of books that are going, what they're going for. I'm constantly getting engaged for that type of stuff. I think we've kind of leveled out as far as the bottoming goes. I'm starting to see more of an incline now on like horror, high grade Dell. I mean, the keys are always been the keys, but I feel like it's the niche keys and iconic stuff that's really been holding strong. Like,
That's actually a good segue to my next question. I was going to ask you guys, what's hot and what's not? What's the trend you're starting to follow? Because comic books is the community is so weird. One moment, for some odd reason, and I'm talking to you guys because we've all done claim sales. You guys all do that stuff. One moment, everyone's like, Dave Stevens. You have Dave Stevens? Do you have any Dave Stevens? And then next thing you know, you hear nothing. And then all of a sudden, Bruce Timm. You got Bruce Timm, and it's like, what causes this
so
wackiness?
I think that's two things. I think it's one, people that have always been collectors that are now starting to see that it's something that's about to be more expensive than what they thought it was. So they're saving their time to afford it shrinking. And then I also think it's people looking to do a flip because they know that it's potentially got more legs to grow, right? So I think that just creates FOMO, right?
What do you think, Phil?
To me,
I think, like, you know what I mean? Like, the minute anybody points out a top sale for anything, it creates FOMO for that artist, for that title, for that character, whatever, right?
All right, true, yeah.
I mean, I think sales have been. I think the community is growing up. I think the community is maturing into less chasing what people tell you to get and going
Mhm.
after what they want. If you look at data aggregate sites, and I don't care which one you look at right now, they're going to show you a mix of three things. They're going to show you still, like Theo was saying, the keys are the keys. Keys are the keys. They're always going to be the keys. They're always going to be there. There's always going to be 2 or 3 of those showing up in any top 10, right? And I'm talking about not just like maybe early silver and golden age especially, but there's also now a lot of modern coming in, and there's a lot more video game influence more than ever in comics. If you look at any top 10 right now, right, for the last probably month and a half, especially since the beginning of this year, I would say the beginning of the last quarter of last year, Marvel Rivals has completely changed what used to be an MCU look and effect of modern comics and what people were chasing, to bringing much more a much younger and new audience to comics, especially from that video game side of things. A lot more exposure in that area. It's also putting some pressure on DC with some of their titles that are coming out video game wise. But I do feel that for me, the trend I've been noticing the most is that people are collecting what they enjoy. There are people just going after covers that are affecting things in the top 10. People that are chasing video game kind of like spec as far as things go, and the traditional keys. So that to me says that this isn't being influenced by one person. This isn't being influenced just by Whatnot and whatever they've got flavor of the week dropping from MegaCon and things of that nature. And it's also not at the same time too super high, huge heritage sales coming and blowing everybody's balls up through their mouth because they got kicked so hard on a super low sale or something abnormally odd. All of a sudden, like Theo was saying, the market's stabilizing and people are going after the things that really interest them. So to me, it's not necessarily predictive as it is so much more maturing. The community's now beginning to say, you know what, this is the stuff I like. I don't need a hot 10 or a whatever it may be to tell me what I need to go out and buy anymore. I can just go get what I enjoy. Maybe it's these, maybe it's the new horror artist of the week. Maybe it's a new In-Hyuk Lee. Maybe it's a Peach Momoko. Maybe it's a Bruce Timm. Maybe it's a whoever it may be. There's going to be always artists. There's always an artist year as far as things go. But in my opinion, it's mostly stabilizing and it's people just getting back to what they enjoy. But I would say for the new hotness, it's definitely the video game influence in comic books.
It is interesting how the word I'm getting, and this happened to myself, and it actually was happening to James as well, was people are being they're being more focused on what they want. I've noticed that, right? Like you said, they're maturing. So they're getting rid of a lot of the stuff that they don't want. And now they're like, I'm just going to concentrate on X. I just want to concentrate on Y. And like me, I'm a key collector. That's all I do. And slabs. So I sold
What's
off
funny
all my,
about that too?
yeah.
Just to not to cut you off, but just to piggyback on that, 9 out of 10 times the people you're referring to are doing that because they got sucked into modern black holes, and now they finally made their way out into the galaxy and are going down the vintage realm. Okay.
You are so
You-
right
Yeah.
about that
Hit
one.
me
That
up
is-
anytime, guys. I cannot tell you how many people I've converted from there back to the dark side where they belong. Okay.
It
and
depends on
that's
but it depends on the money that they have too to spend, Theo, right? Like if
No,
you're
no,
a
no,
kid,
no, no, no.
you
There's a lot
got
of cheap vintage.
$20, you can go
It's
buy
funny how
5
you can
brand new
unlock
books at a
stuff.
I get it.
bookstore
I get it. But
than that, right?
there's great stuff out there. You just have to look.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
volume's never going to be there as high as it is in those books either, as far as like mass
Now,
audience.
and don't get me wrong. I love modern. There's a place for it. I have some of it in my PC. The artists nowadays, they got to eat and make a living. I totally get it. However, what happens is people don't understand pricing. They don't understand exclusives. They don't look at market data over 6 months and get educated before they go blow thousands of dollars.
Yeah, they're buying
That's
too
the
many of the same
problem.
things, and the scarcity is not, especially they're not looking at the scarcity of those things.
No,
You know,
no. It's
right
well,
now,
it's called manufactured scarcity.
well, right now is the
Yeah,
best
like
time
one
in
of
modern
five.
comics to buy because
Okay.
there's
It's
low
called,
print runs.
yeah, printing
Yeah.
money.
it reminds me of the
That's what it is.
90s. It reminds me of the 90s when there was so much print run of number ones
The
and
only thing that I
everyone.
can say though, compared to the 90s, at least this is a bunch of different stuff instead of the same thing being
Yeah, it's
printed
not
in the
just
millions.
Yes.
That's the one thing I can give credit for right now is that at least this shit's shiny, a metal, or one of one.
But
Back
this is
then it was
Yeah.
all same thing.
this is like
That
the
is
end of the
true.
90s though, because every single comic book manufacturer right now is printing less than they did of every single comic just a year ago, let alone 3
Oh,
years ago
digital's the
in the heyday.
future. There's really no way to debate that.
Well, yeah,
That's
digital is the future, but I mean, because of the print runs going lower, like
With
you can buy
regards to
2 Boom
reading,
Studios books right now. I could buy 2 Boom Studio books as a seller at an LCS right now. I
yeah.
could buy 2, and they're going to still send me a 1 in 100. Why? Because they're printing so few of these books anymore that anybody ordering is now getting these lower, super low ratio items. And
Yeah,
this
it's
is now
print
like
on
the
by
end of the
by
90s.
demand,
It's
right?
like getting those. It's like the rare image books. Remember when everybody bought 1 through 10 and then all of a sudden just quit, and then you could never find those upper numbers, those 30s, those 40s, things of that nature. That's the point we're at right now in 2025 for Marvel, DC, Image. All of those publications have dropped dramatically their print runs because people aren't buying the same way they used to. So they're being very careful about it. Just food for thought too with that modern side of things.
Yeah.
And I like that the raws and the slabs have kind of evened out. Like especially like let's say in the 80s, people will buy almost the same amount of money for a raw than a slab. They understand that there's a lot of 80s books out there, so they're not gonna. If you really love it, it's a showpiece. But besides that, I'm watching raws sell for a lot higher than I've seen them in a long time, which is kind of cool. I love that.
You would also know, Theo. I mean, have you seen that? Because I'm pretty sure I've come across where a lot of guys are like, no, sorry, not looking for that slab. I'm looking for it raw.
No, never. They either buy it or they don't. I don't think there's really been a reduction in slabs. Um, I don't know. I just think everyone's trying to beat the last sale. Everyone needs to remember the number
I'm
one
not going to
rule,
debate
right?
him.
It's ROI, right? I mean, everyone's too picky on stuff. You can't forget about your numbers. So that's me personally why I don't have a problem moving slabs.
Yeah, but at the same time too, like from a market perspective, there's still a lot of raw movement right now, just because the cost of slabbing is so
no
expensive.
matter what, raws have always sold more than slabs, just because of honestly the amount of raws that exist in the world compared to slabs, right? So no matter no matter how you look at it, raws will always sell more than slabs. I mean, look at our on-site sales. What is it? 90-to-1 ratio.
At best.
Yeah, right. Like
Best.
even I just did a sale this past weekend. It was all stories. That's it. I mean, yeah, probably about 20 slabs sold. But compared to the raws, it was like 250, 300
Yeah.
raws.
2-3 short boxes of raws
So,
move.
But
10, 20.
then again, I also have only about 3 boxes of slabs worth that I was dealing with compared to the tens of 20s of short boxes of raws, right? So the ratio is always in favor of the raws.
But
no
you're
matter
also dealing in slabs though that are generally keys and that are sought after slabs. There's a lot of people that have been slabbing, especially in the last 2 to 3 years with that.
Well, not
modern
everything
age.
needs to be slab. That's the
Exactly.
point, right? Like,
That's
It's
kind
those
of
slabs those slabs are, it's those people that sell those kinds
There's
of
a
slabs
reason
that are
there's a
seeing the
9.8
decline.
pre-screen, you know, like
Yeah, it's those
use
people
it.
that have seen that were always just slabbing every single book they got. Those people are seeing the decline in their sales of slabs because those things, I mean, people just want to pick them up to read anymore now anyways, because
Well,
there's no
I
reason
mean,
to
you know.
case it. They're cheaper. They're they're worth less than what it costs to slab them in many cases nowadays. So I feel like those ones are suffering, but the ones that like Theo deals with are going to move every day. Every day.
I never understood. Listen, the last thing I am, if you guys all know me, definitely not a gatekeeper. As anyone knows, I don't read comic books. Never read one in my life from beginning to end. I'm 50, gonna be 53. Never read a comic book in my life. And the gatekeepers that come after me.
Show.
And yeah. Well, the funny thing is, this is the funny thing. Not only do I not read, I collect slabs. So the gatekeepers have a field day with me. Not only do you not read, because comic books are meant to be read, you entomb them in this case of plastic instead of opening them and smelling them the way I don't give a shit. So there are also those groups of people who are like, I don't ever want to own a slab because I'm the purist, right? I'm the one who collects. I want to collect all the runs, but I don't ever understood the
Well, then
guys.
let them do that.
Then right, knock yourself out. I don't care.
Yeah.
But why do you have to get on me for the way I collect? I'm not going to get on you for the way you collect.
No.
But I don't
I just think
understand
that's
the
ridiculous.
way.
Yeah, everybody's got to
So
have
Theo,
it.
did you enjoy selling like those story lots? Like let's say Fallen Mutants, or was that fun? Collecting them, seeing them, putting them together and selling them? Just from a personal
for me?
standpoint. Yeah, for you.
Yeah, who else is he talking to, damn it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
this is you.
Yeah,
Really.
I like selling lots. I prefer selling runs. I've been selling a lot of runs lately because that's honestly something that I keep getting reached out to from new people because nobody's doing that, right? Nobody's putting out a whole
Well, that's
gold key
we got
run of Star Trek. You know, nobody's showing an entire run of Boris Karloff that you can buy. You know what I mean?
right.
Not without
That's
ripping out all the keys.
that's that shit I'm talking about though, and it's moving because people are seeing the value and holy crap, I can get everything in one shot as opposed to nickel and diming every individual
Piecing
issue.
it.
I don't know. For me as a seller, it's easier to ship one box to somebody than 40
Well,
two-book
we just got a
packages to
comment,
everybody
like, we
else, you
wish
know?
we could find books that we could actually read. That is actually something that's happening. I think that people are actually looking for story runs within the comics
Right.
again. That I
Yeah.
love because people like
Yeah,
Theo
you know, run
is
a Care Bears, run
presenting
a
it.
Muppet Babies, everything, dude. It's been moving, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
cool.
like to collect my story arcs like that. That's why I'm mostly an indie, like wearing an Invincible shirt. You know, I enjoy my indie comics much more than anything, but I do that because of the writing. And it's because of what I've been able to read from it. I don't slab my books. I've got I had like 35 short boxes of comics and only probably about Theo knows probably less than 10 slabs. That's because I enjoyed reading them. I subscribe to the Stan Lee rule of thought, where it's just like, comics are like boobs. They're better in your hands than they are they are just as a picture on the wall or on your computer.
I've not heard that in a while. Thank you for bringing that back up.
You're welcome. I like to point that out once in a while, but I do enjoy my slabs because I do have some books that are investments to me because they are so old. They should be preserved, right? But I'm also more of a modern and indie guy. And since I'm more of a modern indie guy, it's generally that market is so volatile. Throwing it in plastic isn't
It's
necessarily
9.8 or
going to help.
bust.
It is. It's too much of a headache and it's too much of a gamble just to even spend the $40 on it to maybe get it out by the time it comes back from CGC or CBCS. It takes so long, and when you're dealing with moderns, that kind of turnaround time, that'll kill you. It'll destroy you every single time. So, raw is the way to go for a guy like me who has some golden age, some silver age, mostly bronze and modern.
Yeah. Once again, there's no right or wrong. It's the oldest thing. There's no right or wrong way to collect. Collect what you want. It's your money. Pay how you want to do.
And off of that, I'm going to ask these guys, and I asked you this once, Phil, before, but now that you've been in the business yet another year and you've altered, if you go to MegaCon, and I know you guys, I don't think you are, but what are you guys
I have a
looking
broken leg.
Yeah. I wasn't going to bring that up since no one can see it, but he has a broken leg, people. So
no travel this month. Next month, I'm going somewhere with Theo.
So
but no, nothing,
what are you guys like personally interested in cons, if any, anymore?
What cons are we interested in? Like which
Just like
ones are?
if you go there, what are you doing? And I think that
Oh,
last time we talked, it was for you. It's indie. Is it still indie?
honestly, for me, it's not even. It's barely about comics anymore. It's about seeing people, right? Like
See?
the coolest thing is getting to go out and see these people that we talk to like the people that show up at the sales when Theo and I do a sale. When we get to meet them in person, it's kind of a cool fucking thing because I mean we've been talking all the time, and all of a sudden there's like, oh my god, you're tall as, or oh my gosh, you know, what's going on? You meet a person for the first time. I think that that's the coolest part of a convention. That's my number one reason for going. The other reason is because I'm hanging out with Theo, who I usually don't get to do. I mean, we're on different sides of the country. We get together to work at these conventions or work at a sale. So usually when we get to the convention, we have more downtime than we do at a sale. At a sale, it's 24/7, it's constantly moving. It's a pain in the ass, and we don't rest until we get home a week later. But at a convention, it's crazy. But
You're
if we
giving
need
me
to sleep, we
PTSD
can.
already.
but if we need to sleep, we
uh.
can, right? But with a sale, no. If it's 2 hours of sleep, well, it's 2 hours of sleep. Get the fuck up, turn on your cameras, because we're going, you know. So for me, in my mind, it's the people and hanging out with my friends. That's why I go to it. That's why I go to conventions anymore. I enjoy seeing books, but to me, I'm not buying from there because they're always expensive. I'm always just hanging out with friends.
Community. Yep. Community.
Are
Theo?
you going to make a con, Theo?
No, I'm not going to anything this year. If I go to anything, it'll be New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's probably
I'll
my
get him to go
favorite
to
one.
something else probably,
and,
but
and that's the one where I feel like I can do the most damage because for New York, I know like a lot of the dealers, so I do a lot of bundle bulk deals for them, trades. You know, they have more artists there than San Diego or anywhere else. So that's where last year I brought like a bunch of Mark Jewelers, really hard ratios, you know, to help pay for my trip. They also have probably some of the better exclusives. Like I was able to snag 3 copies of that Todd McFarlane Peach book that there was literally a riot over, you know? But yeah, that and, you know, food, nightlife. I mean, like I said, I'm a dad of 4. I like to take some time off while I'm working too, you know?
So Theo time. You know, everyone needs a little bit
Yeah.
of Theo time, right? I mean, it's
Plus, you know, a lot of our friends go there. It's a good time to link up, shake hands, you know, do the thing.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm all about that. It's, as you guys know, this will be my redemption tour for MegaCon, and I'm finally going to be able to meet my friends from IG, artists that we've had on the show for years. Finally get to meet them in person, and this time be a lot healthier doing it. And that's why I'm only doing the show for one night. I'm only going Thursday, and that's it. I don't, since I don't read and I don't collect mod and I don't do all that stuff. I'm just going for the people, and the rest of the time we're just going to be selling live from an Airbnb and just having a good time and just to be with friends. And I think that's what it's all about, to be quite honest. This community, to be able to meet one another in person and to trade stories and all that, it's a good feeling, man. And the books are always going to be there, but
I think if it's not a con exclusive, in my opinion, it's not necessarily a good reason to go to a comic and to go to a convention anymore to buy comics, because
True.
they're always I'm not trying to, you know, throw anybody under the bus, but it's a very hard place to find a deal. Maybe it's a good place to make a trade. That's entirely possible, but it's a hard place to find a cash deal if you're coming
Even
in there.
harder to do a trade.
Thank you. Right. So
Better
for
have
me, in my
something
mind,
good.
conventions have become so commercialized in that way and manner. If you're going to a convention right now, you shouldn't really be going to buy a comic unless you're going to buy something that is, you know, an exclusive to that.
Yeah, literally. I would tell everybody, don't even go to a convention and try to buy a book from a vendor unless you know that vendor's first name.
Yeah.
You have a point.
And they
know yours too.
And they know yours.
You know what, Rage? It's funny you say that because I just came back last week from Albuquerque Comic Con, and it's kind of relatively small, and I'm looking for certain figures, and I'm like, oh, there it is. Wait a minute, how much do you want for that? Get the fuck out of here! I'm not going to pay $90 for that. I could pick it up loose at eBay for $15. What's going on here, right? And it's the same thing. It's always been the same thing with books. Oh, but sometimes you get a good deal. And I think just like Rach said, you kind of have to know, like, hey, what's going on there, Frank? Hey there, Caesar. What do you got going on here? Other than that, you're going to be paying the prices. And for the most part, the only reason why a lot of people go to these cons, yes, to meet people, but to get an autograph from the
Absolutely. I was
slew
going
of
to say that.
celebrities,
Yes.
Yeah, I was
all the
saying,
celebrities.
you better have a list of things to do besides just buying books.
Yeah, because he won't be
Mhm.
there long. Because
Yeah.
isn't it the booths are getting smaller and smaller of actual buying books, you know?
And more
That's why a lot
expensive.
Yeah, they're getting smaller. Yeah.
and more expensive. And then you keep hearing, you don't want to go to that one. You want to go to a blah, blah, blah con because there's no celebrities and it's all books. You know, yeah, those are the ones you might want to go. Still gonna be pricey, but at least, you know, you're dealing with more books than you are celebrities.
See, but that's why I like the New Yorks, the San Diego. I like the bigger ones because more than likely the comic book people who are there already had to pay a crap ton to get there. And nothing against them.
Real lot.
It's not meant for everybody, but they're already in the hole. Most of the people there, like you said, are there for signatures, to meet actors, to cosplay, to give two craps about putting a comic book bag in their costume. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh,
So that's
yeah.
why you can make a good deal, like on the last day. Just saying, if they haven't sold a lot, they will with you. Write that in there. I promise you.
Or be a guy who sells like the hard plastic sleeves for comics and autographs and things of that nature. Be that guy that's just walking around with a bunch of them in the back and just sell them next to autograph lines for like $100 a pop.
Oh yeah, you want to make
Somebody would
good
buy
money?
it.
Walk around with a backpack and top loaders.
Yep.
Yep.
All day. All day.
It is true. I
It was
bought
literally
a
the funniest thing when I got the Peach Momoko Todd books. When I went up to line, because they gave those without bags and boards. I was like, oh man,
yeah,
this
it
is
kills me.
crazy. But I had bags and boards, topplers in my backpack. I get there, I put it in there, literally everyone in line, multiple people that we all know. They're like, Rage, sell me a top loader. I'm like, dude, I brought three because they said you could bring three. This is amateur. Look at all these. I was like, look at all these sellers. And nobody has a damn top. What's wrong with you guys?
Yeah,
Yep.
What's
I would have a
happening
booth
right now?
I would have a booth right next to Peach to be
Oh,
selling nothing
bro,
but
all
top
you need to do
loaders.
is have a backpack, reverse opened up, top loader, $50 each. I bet you would have sold out.
Yep.
Literally in a second.
They just need to have people like Comic Clear and the other what's the new slabbing thing? But
Nobody says the word
guys
of the
walk
guys
around
who
with
are
wagons
selling
in
the
Artist Alley.
magazine and the print top loaders for like hundreds of dollars. It's pretty ridiculous.
Just have somebody walking around with like one of those big red wagons, through Artist Alley,
Yeah,
making
right.
laps.
Right.
Just make laps and
Give out
people would
water
make a killing
bottles, $10 each. There you go.
every
Hit
time.
a
Actually, I think
little
that's gonna be my
bell.
new thing, Theo. I'm just gonna do that. All right, I'll do that. You go get in line.
Yeah,
There you
deal.
go.
There you go.
That's the
Here.
other thing too, right?
You sell the
is
books. I'll
line.
sell to the people that forget the shit in line.
Lurch, go sell some water. Go get
Right?
the
Exactly.
the lines, and then you start hearing it doesn't fail. Every single con has, did you hear that there was a big fight at the so-and-so line? Oh yeah. Then you find out, hey, what happened with the fight? No one fought. It was just a pushing and a shove, and that's it. And the way telephone works. Oh, they got in a fight, and next thing you know, someone got stabbed in the parking lot. That someone got ran over. There was a bomb in the bathroom, and it's like none of that happened. It's just kind of weird how it just becomes wildfire on these cons because there's so many people there who see so many things and hear third party. I mean, when I first heard about the Momoko thing, and I'm going, oh, that's horrible. Again, for Peach, right? Something happening on in that line. It's just ridiculous.
You know what though? I don't feel bad at all. This is like you said, this isn't the first time. There was no
Mhm.
security, there was no structure in the line. They got exactly what they deserved. Sorry.
You would
Yeah,
think
no,
they would learn, right?
They got exactly what they deserved. They should have put more respect on that book, especially because it was with Todd McFarlane on a Spawn. Shame on you. You should know better.
I mean, there's
Yeah,
let
no,
alone
seriously. If you didn't think that would be the
Leave it
hottest
to
thing
Theo
at
to
the
always
con,
mic drop it. Boom.
okay?
Well-
if you didn't think that book was going to be the hottest book at the con, you didn't deserve to have that book.
And
it's
I think
one
at the same time too, we deal with a very immature group of collectors. I mean, we're all children with adult money at this point, but the problem is we've got a lot of people in this community that are also just children, and they're just assholes,
Whatever.
spoiled kids now at this point, that just believe that it's all about them. So I think that our community at the same time too tends to over exaggerate at times too, little high schooly. Like, yes, absolutely, everybody should be putting more measures into things, But like you said, the telephone side of things in comics, it can get very drama, especially these last few years. Everything's outrage. If we don't have, I feel like the comic book community has to be pissed off about something every week that's new. That's the one thing that annoys me the most, is I have to tune in to see what are we mad about this week. Oh, did you hear?
Oh God.
We're
And then
mad
you
about
gotta make a meme about it.
this. That to me is my biggest, like, are you really, like, this is what we're mad about this week? Okay, well, next week it'll be something else, but
Something else.
it's more
But, yeah,
rare the weeks that's
It's weird
quiet.
because it happens everywhere. Now working for Disney, the amount of crap that I it's
Oh, yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
It
It's the
is
same
it
thing,
is funny.
same communities.
Disney's a
It is
lightning
funny,
rod
Rach.
for a lot of that stuff too,
Yes.
just because they're a big dog. Everybody's got to have there's always a flea,
I tell you what, Rach, it is funny because knowing that you already had drama at a Momoko line, now you're going to add the Momoko with one of the biggest draws.
Stupidity.
And you're not going to have go. Well, let's logically thinking. Well, if Momoko is kind of crazy, and now we're going to have Momoko with McFarlane, how about we kind of let's shove everyone down and record.
I was there.
Yeah.
They redirected the line 3 times. And then one of those times I was towards the front and got to the back. And myself and like a group of 50 people were like, yeah, you're out of your fucking mind if this is going to happen. And that's when it got crazy.
Oh man, it's
MMA style. Let's go.
Yeah. So
It's not-
as a result, everyone that was in the back who was waiting in the front for till morning, mind you, no coffee, no BS. Okay, early. Mind you, I had to, just so I wouldn't have to hear about it, right? And they made it so you had to buy a regular badge to do this, right? It wasn't for vendors like or VIP people, right? You had to go get. I went outside at like 6 o'clock in the morning on the streets of New York and bought a 1-day pass from somebody. Paid
my
top
God.
dollar for that thing to get in line to be on time, and then you're going to tell me to get in the back of the line? Yeah,
Mhm.
no, you're out of your fucking mind.
It is it's going to continue happening. We all know that every single con now. Is it
I'm just
me or
saying,
the
some
cons?
people went through the proper channels to do it correctly,
And don't you just wish that everybody will go through the proper channels to do it correctly?
Not a chance in hell.
Yeah, right, dude.
Is it me or are cons becoming more and more crowded because what we just talked about, because of the celebrities, and is it the same? Is it getting more crowded? I mean, now that you guys,
It's more crowded.
know-
That's because there's an expansion of what now goes on at a con. Beforehand, you never saw anime. You never saw you saw.
I was gonna say, I
couple-
think anime
a
and
couple
manga is a big
cosplayers.
factor there.
Anime
I'm
and
hoping to see the
cosplayers are
game
the
stuff
biggest
that you
things.
were talking about. That would be cool to integrate the gaming corners and stuff.
Well, I mean,
That would be
gaming's
fun.
very, very much a part of anime.
They have
you
video
know?
game
It's-
centers that you can play there all throughout the con. There's video
Yeah.
game little areas
a
for
lot of
people
these,
to
especially
game it
the
up.
big
Yeah.
ones too. They're having just select rooms where they're getting together and talking about the games.
But I
You
know
know,
at the bigger cons like San Diego, New York, I know Phil, you've seen this, but I've seen more like Dragon Ball Z stuff, more movie prop stuff, like expensive replicas of like movie production stuff.
Yep.
It's like a
Animation
museum half the
cells,
time.
originals, yeah, there's definitely, but
Yeah.
to me it's not the lines, it's not the celebrities. If anything, the celebrities are so expensive, they're still kind of at whatever the level they've been in demand in the past. And it's the same comic book collectors that are always coming for autographs. Those people aren't really becoming new. It's the anime community, video game community too, but mostly anime and cosplay. Cosplay has exploded
massive.
in social media. Social media now pulls in more cosplayers to come to their conventions than they do just regular internet personalities, whatever it may be.
I mean,
No,
look at that. Look
We're
at
a
that
cosplayer.
Wednesday girl. She blew out.
Yeah,
Let
that's
her cook. Let her cook.
every single time. You're always going to do better with those, especially when you're dealing with a bunch of, people that don't normally get to hang out with a person that looks like that on a regular basis, or maybe spends a little too much time looking at that cover. Maybe they've got like a really.
So where are
big
you
pillow
going
with
with
that
this,
thing.
Phil? What exactly? What
He's
don't
talking about a
know.
bunch of virgins, man, who live
I
in the
don't know,
basement.
but there's
at
a
their
reason why
grandma's
this isn't a
house.
black light behind me. Okay, so I'm
Heyo.
just saying.
Yeah, but the thing which is so true, Phil, at Albuquerque, I've never thought I would see the day when, and we all see it now, that there's a cosplayer who has her own booth selling pictures of her cosplay. And I'm
Yep.
going, there's people who want like that, and she just signed. I mean, I'm not telling this person, but I'm like, I don't understand. Before cosplay, you just see them on the floor. Now that they have their own booth and they're so
Yep.
popular, where they have their own prints, and I could sign it and I could take pictures and selfies and all that. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, it's cool though. Self-expression for sure.
Hey,
TikTok,
yourself
TikTok
out.
has a lot of influence in that. Instagram has some with the pictures, but it's mostly TikTok
Oh,
and the dancer
TikTok's
teams
back,
and things
right?
of that
Yeah.
nature. And that brings in an audience. That brings in those fans. And in all honesty, the convention doesn't give a shit how many collectors come. They care about how many people come through the doors. They don't care if you're there to buy comics. They don't care if the convention center wants butts in seats in those rooms, and they want people walking around and just doing laps. They want as many people as that building can hold, and those people draw. Those people
Yeah.
draw. Some of those people draw more than the artists. The artists have to pay to get in there. The cosplayers
Yeah.
get invited for free. Keep that in
Interesting.
mind.
I know, right?
99% of the cosplayers come in for free, or they are paid to be there. Most artists, unless you're like one of those top 10 kinds of top tier artists, Artist Alley is full of people that are paying and waiting
To get a
on
booth,
wait
yeah.
lists to get in that door. But that
Mhm.
cosplayer, well, they've got 300,000 on Instagram and 1.2 million on TikTok. Give her $5,000 a day, fly her in, have her sit at this booth on the main floor, not even an Artist Alley, on the main floor, and we will have an extra couple hundred people come through every day for that. And that's legit.
Have you guys ever been? Because I noticed someone told me they went to the con here in Albuquerque on Saturday, and they were about to get in. They said, "Sorry, we're overflowed. You have to
Oh,
wait."
that's new.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
basically
no.
said, "There's too many people.
They
You have to
oversold
wait."
it. Like,
They
this is an
oversold it.
airline.
I mean, that sounds like an Albuquerque thing.
That is
You
correct,
did
sir.
set, yeah, you set
If
yourself
you,
up
if
for
you
that.
said
Turn,
San
did you?
Diego or New York,
I
that
know.
would catch me off guard, you know?
I get it. I
Albuquerque,
I
no
threw a
offense.
big matzo ball up
You
there,
must have
Theo.
turned left to help
you,
it.
you took that straight. I took that straight in the chin. But I would kind of suck. He goes, I was so close to getting in. They're like, well, we got to wait for a couple of people to leave for you to get in. And it's like a COVID all of a sudden, right? You kind of have to 10 people come out, 10 people come in. To be fuck that.
That's weird. That's like a club thing. I've never seen that at a convention.
Yeah,
Have you?
it actually happened.
Did the fire department actually show
Glitch.
up and like hanging out and like, you know what, guys, you're at
Too many
capacity?
people.
I'll tell you what.
That's too much.
Well,
What do you?
That's good for the community. If
It's good
things
for
are
that
filling up.
convention.
Yeah.
Well, they had the Lord of the Rings guys there. They had Elijah, they had Samwise, and then they had Gimli. All three.
Oh
there.
yeah.
You know, so that's a kind of a big draw. The eBay Live gonna blow up this year. Beyond.
That's a directed question. Theo.
That's a Theo only question.
That's
really.
a Theo. That's why I'm talking to you, Theo. What do you think?
No.
What not
Theo
still has
owns
market?
it. Period.
I mean,
Done.
I think eBay Live is gonna continue to be eBay Live and grow at the rate that they want to. I respect the fact that they haven't completely dove into the deep end before knowing what their app can handle, you know, because it's still technically in beta. I'm just fortunate to be one of the few that's involved in it from the beginning. And it was a rocky start, just like most apps I've sold on, but it has quickly progressed into a dedicated audience of savages who pick up everything I throw in front of them.
You have an amazing follow.
Long
truly.
story short, yeah, they appreciate what I'm putting up, so I keep doing it, and they
Well
keep showing
deserved,
up,
though.
and
Well
it's
deserved, my friend.
it's
Well,
a scratch my back, I
from the
scratch yours
outside looking in,
relationship,
though.
you know.
From the outside looking in, though, I've watched Theo start with Whatnot, and I've watched Theo start with eBay Live, and I can say that there's a number of stark differences. Number one, eBay's exclusive. eBay's not just letting anybody in the doors. eBay's doing vetting, and it's spending a lot of time. Now I know Whatnot does too. You've got to have somebody who says yes, but I know more people that also get like $5 for a referral and everything else. They're like, yes, oh, they're great. You get them in, get my friend in. But I can also say too, in the way that they've treated Theo versus, and this isn't maybe Theo's place to say, but as somebody from the outside looking in, I've watched the way that Whatnot won't get back to people, won't treat people the same across the board, won't
The
work
professionalism on these
the
two apps is
professionalism.
night and day. I can tell you that right
Okay.
now.
100%
That's
different.
what I was.
So I would
That's
rather
what I was
buy
night and
from
day.
eBay all day.
It is like, one's you're working for a corporation that already knows who the fuck they are and what they're about, and the other
Yep.
one's still trying to figure out how they became number 4 in the top downloads. When reality check, everyone already had eBay downloaded.
Yep.
Okay,
Right.
if eBay just came out, it would be number 1 downloaded. Promise you.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
Mhm.
anyways,
The saturation's there everywhere.
It's eBay.
it's
Yeah.
eBay.
I mean,
It's honestly on
eBay's-
every selling platform there is. Everyone's recommending the recent sale off eBay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
eBay
Nobody's
is
going online saying, "Hey, well, it's sold
eBay
on
is kind
Whatnot."
of nobody
Oh,
is
God.
saying that, nor do they want to say that.
Want to imagine?
Nothing against Whatnot. It was fun while it lasted. I have a lot of friends that do absolutely great on there, and that's perfect for their clientele and their inventory, and that's fantastic.
Whatnot's never done anything for me, so I don't give a shit. Fuck them.
Imagine if someone said. Imagine if someone said, "Hey,
you know what? See, that's the difference, guys. Phil likes to drop a nuke on a bridge. I'm more of a drawbridge guy. I like drawbridges.
There's the yin and yang, right? The yin and yang again.
Yeah, it just
But imagine if people said,
comics
"Well,
and chaos.
what was the last sale on that Whatnot?" They're like, "Oh, $300 for that modern."
Get out of here, man. Yeah, no, stop it.
That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work at all. But eBay is like we talked about. eBay's been around since 1944. So I mean, even the people at the nursing home know about eBay. It already has its fan base, and let alone you say, "Hey, wait a minute, they're gonna do this."
I mean,
whole new
I was
live
selling on there
auction.
before I was selling on Instagram, and
There you go. And then
Same
do
here.
all of a sudden they're gonna be
I
a
was
new live
I was one of the
auction.
early people on Instagram lives. I mean, it's yeah.
I love
just
the
heard
shipping.
Walmart starting to do it. If Walmart looks promising, I'll sell with Walmart too. I mean,
There you go.
I'll
Well,
sell on any
Walmart-
platform that'll have me and is doing a good job.
Well, Amazon does it already, right?
And you know what?
Amazon's
Respect
doing
to
it now.
eBay. Respect to eBay, because I can legally say this, but I'm in a contract with them. And the one thing that I appreciate about them, they do not require me to be exclusive to this app. They don't want
Oh,
to
that's nice.
hinder me or my brand or my business.
There's respect
So,
there. eBay works with respect. I do feel like it's like I said, from the outside looking in.
Yeah, I will
I've seen
say
people
some
treat differently.
got leaked over from references, but yeah,
That's kind of I appreciate people are like, listen, man, if you're on eBay, you can go sell. We don't care. Instead of going, you are with us and you're with
like
us.
you're
so-
stuck here. No, yeah, no.
Yeah, don't mention your other socials. Don't mention the other things you do. You're gonna get put in time out of you. Nope. I mean, no,
That's why I
granted,
love
nobody's
eBay
gonna
right
say
now.
like,
They totally respect my business, and
That's great.
yeah,
And
great.
eBay's been there
no questions.
forever, and they dealt with everyone bashing them for many, many years, and they're still there. They're
you-
still
check
Oh,
your
they were the
grandparents.
original. They were the original public enemy number 1.
yeah.
Check your
Yeah.
grandparents' cell phones, right? Like, check that. They're not going to have Whatnot. They'll have an eBay. If they're going to have anything on their phone, it's going to be, even if they're just buying, a random Christmas gift. Everybody has eBay. eBay has the market saturation Whatnot can only dream of having, or any other app for that matter. Any
Yeah,
other
They did
sales
so
app.
good
I'm
with
just
Amazon
saying,
and
everything.
eBay's.
I'm just
they're-
saying they're in beta, and they've already exceeded my expectations. So,
Well, you brought up something that I never thought about, Theo, until now. Everybody already had the eBay app downloaded on their phone. I mean, it's a bonus
it's
because the first thing they're
it's
going to say is,
already
"Do I
there,
have
bro.
do I have to download something different?" No, you already have eBay, right? Well, yeah, you're all set to go. Whereas Whatnot, you have to. I gotta get another app, and I don't know.
You have to
then I
hear
gotta set up
about
an
it.
account, and I gotta do all the stuff. And I get it.
I will give it
100%.
to them. They're being loud with their sponsored campaigns on YouTube, whatnot. I mean, they're definitely trying to do that. Yeah.
Can you answer that, Theo? So City Spartan is asking, how to sell. It's a shout out to John.
I can
How
give
does
you
sell-
I can give you the orthodox or the unorthodox answer, City. What would you like?
Give him the What about
What,
the
what would you like, sir?
make the
Unorthodox,
show
of course,
make
my
the show
friend.
interesting. Make the show interesting, Theo.
Okay, so to put it in
Or look
perspective, what I would normally say is that you should apply. However, I did that, and after about 6 months of no reply, I met them at New York Comic Con 2 years ago. I introduced myself, I showed my whatnot, I showed my Instagram, and I showed my eBay. And I gave them a physical handwritten resume of my past work experiences. I didn't get a reply, and I met them again a year later at another New York Comic Con. Since then, my Instagram, whatnot, and eBay had only grown. I showed the growth, then I got on the app.
So hard
So
work
So
pays
literally,
so
I
off.
hard
had
work.
Literally, you got to
it took
chase your dream.
it took a little
Damn
bit
it.
of elbow grease, my friend.
Yeah,
Just a
You
little
put in the
bit.
grind. You
just
got to
like
put in the
everything
grind.
else.
Yeah.
Just like everything else. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
That-
So
But that
that's what
goes
Phil
to
was
say
talking
so.
about with all the movie stuff
Yeah.
that you're doing, man. You
yeah,
you you you've
it
been
wasn't
working.
right away. It was. I promise you, it took a long time.
Yep. Yep.
Phil was with me
what
at one of those meetings. Golly was with me the next year at the next meeting. Yeah.
do people sell on TikTok? You sell on TikTok as well, Theo?
No.
No,
Oh, I thought you were talking to us. Sorry.
no,
No,
that's
both of
that's
you. I
not
mean,
my bag, baby. Nope.
yeah, I know that I know TikTok.
Plus, I heard rumors of it being eventually taken down. It did get taken down. It still could get taken down. For
Mhm,
right now, I just don't have enough faith in the app to put
I
any
hear you.
eggs in that basket. I got like one or two baby ones in there, but no, we're not. We're not
Yeah,
gonna go
we
ahead over that.
we
Not
keep
yet.
the fires lit over
Yeah,
there
I
for
just don't
things.
trust it yet.
But until we get that American buyer in there, and the Republicans
Plus, you
and
got data
Democrats can
leaks happening
agree,
every day from that app.
yeah,
I
Mhm.
mean, that's the
Yeah,
last thing any of us need right now. So,
it's one
I
of the main reasons why. Yeah.
I
yeah.
think that I think for sellers, the one thing that I've always appreciated about what Theo does, and is something that I kind of try to do too with my content side of things, is that you don't put all your eggs in one basket, because
Mhm.
eventually that one basket will burn. There will be one thing that happens on that platform that will burn you. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the biggest seller on whatever the app is. If you're only on that app, you're asking for trouble, and it's poor business decisions to only limit yourself to one thing. So if you're only on Instagram, it's a bad decision. If you're only on TikTok, bad decision. Same thing about YouTube, about whatnot. You
eBay,
should be
everything.
diversifying. eBay, obviously, well, that kind of goes without saying. You were just talking about it. But I mean, Theo, the one thing I liked about Theo is that he's always sold on each
Always
different
exploring.
platform, because if
Mhm.
one thing isn't working, he can go right over to the
Mhm.
audience anytime he wants to. And
Yeah.
that is, if this is what you're doing, or if it's content, if the content's what you're after, do not put your eggs in one basket. You have to diversify, because I've been locked out of my Instagram account. I lost it for like
Yeah, it was
3
one time.
months.
Yeah.
I lost it for 3 months. I had to start a whole new account, lost like 8,000 followers. And I thought I was about to quit, because I had just gotten hired to go to San Diego Comic-Con. I was just like the KRS spokesperson working at Cover Price. And all of a sudden I got hacked, lost my account. It, I died a little. But then immediately I set up a YouTube, I set up a TikTok, I set up all my other socials. Okay. It was never as good, but I got it back and things got better. But months, I thought whatever I had put into it, like years of work, was gone. And we've seen Instagram go down. I've seen my friends at Elite go down for like 5 days at a time, right? Because
Mhm.
of whatever Instagram rule is that week that some AI bot
Mhm.
decided to slap them with. But
Yeah.
it's the same thing with Whatnot. Whatnot goes down. What happens to all those sellers that are relying on that money? You've got to diversify. Always be diverse.
It is true. It's because imagine. Well, yeah, I was gonna say imagine, but it has happened. You have to build up a whole new fan base and followers. So if you do it all at the same time within those time, like Theo does, he dabbles everything else and he builds up that following, that fan base. One goes down, that's cool. I got three others I could jump on while the other one kind of fixes itself, right? So it's a smart move. But talk
Expand,
about
yeah, expanding out. What did you guys just do with this apocalypse thing? I saw something on your story. What did you guys just drop?
Oh no, that was just us moving to a new night. Like all of a sudden, the apocalypse is over. We're back. We took like 3 months
oh,
off. That was just us, getting back to work and filmmaking clickbait. It
Well,
was
you did well, because I was like,
well,
what the
because
hell's
it
going
made
on?
me, yeah, it made me click on it. It's kind of Dell, my partner here, who's out on, obviously, he reminded us we had a pretty big following on YouTube, and we showed something on one of the shows, I think a pair of boobs or something like that from a cover, and boop,
Stan
gone.
Lee, but
Our YouTube just wiped out, and there goes everything, and we had to start all over again. And it blows, but you know what? That's just the trials and tribulations of this, what we do, whether it be claim sales or podcast, whatever it is. It is what it is. But what's Theo? This is kind of for you. What is one of your biggest pet peeves when you do claim sales, when you go live?
ooh, I never.
People that don't pay.
Yeah,
The ones
non-payers.
you have, the ones you
It
have to
doesn't.
go.
It doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's always a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other
Because
than
we'll
that,
mess with them for
I
weeks.
mean, you want to talk on a professional level? I mean, probably the pricing and grading, maybe the shipping. I don't know. No,
That was your
it's the pricing and grading. Yeah.
yeah, that was your thing too, right, James? The non-payers, especially when if it's like $1,500 and they're like, I'm just gonna ghost you and just block you.
On Instagram in particular, that's tough to chase. On eBay and whatnot, at least they have channels that you don't pay, you're gonna get blocked or put a report in and stuff and things like that. And I don't even think you can not pay. I'm not sure about that with eBay, but I've never
No,
had a
yeah. There's
problem with anybody.
non-payers on eBay too. Yeah.
So,
Yep.
but yeah, non-payers but they make their own basket. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
again,
100%.
they get blocked, and then
Yeah.
that's that.
Number one's non-payers, and number two is like the work it takes to do it all. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys could help me with the psychological of this. What do people get out of claiming and then just ghosting? What's the psychological? from that?
Probably a troll knowing that they wasted about 1 second of your time. I don't know. Low life scum. Who knows, dude?
Or it's sometimes too somebody didn't realize how much money they got into. That's usually like the I because like when we do these big sales, Theo does the sale, Phil does the collections. I'm the collections guy, right? I'm the guy that's showing up in your freaking DMs every day. Where's the hey, you want this? Pay these people, get this done, send me the receipt, or you don't get the books, kind of thing. And very often the biggest issue wasn't necessarily like there's a few people that didn't, we don't track down. There's always a few, but the biggest problem usually that comes back in the line is people didn't realize how many things they were buying. That's usually
Especially on a multi-day thing like you guys.
Yeah, we
take
do this
on
for a week
such
at a time.
I mean, all of a sudden you've bought 5 different packs. You're at $1,000, and you went in thinking $100.
Yeah. And also
ain't
you realize
paying.
you spend $100 a day,
Yeah,
and we did
exactly.
this for a week. So it's not $100 now, it's 5. And then those are the people that, obviously we work with, we get payment plans, and we talk to people about that. So we try to give everybody the opportunity to pay, but there's always a good 3% average in every sale that we have of no matter how many people we sell to, about 3% will disappear, change a name, we're just trolling, or realize things kind of got away from them and they just disappear. But that's usually that's pretty average.
Because it is true. I don't see people with calculators going, how much was that? 18 plus 15. Okay, so I'm 400.
That's the hardest thing about Instagram in general. You don't have any vetting.
I can count on my hands how many people that
Hardly.
I have ever worked with client wise that have actually known how much they spent when they're just like, hey, I'm the one that spent $1,326. How much is it for shipping? Oh, okay, it was free for that one. Okay, good. And they've already sent the PayPal, right? I can count those.
Oh, Spencer, what happened to that?
That's I'm sorry.
That's a huge number, Spencer. $30,000 in Flaker books in last year alone.
Well, I hope that was because you sold like
that, bro.
Well, word of 2024, Flaker.
$1 million worth of comics. Man, that's a lot.
Now, what about, because this is for actually all of you guys. What about, Dell mentioned those, hey, I never got the package. I need a refund.
I've only had one of those.
Very rarely happens on Instagram.
I've only ever had one of those people occur, and we've been. And Theo, how many sales have we done now? We've done this for 2 years.
We've done a lot.
We only had one client, and that was from a sale we did with a third-party client on Instagram, and it was somebody that followed that worked with them on a regular basis. But it showed delivered, and because it was a oh well, I didn't get the tracking number, so I can't look through my stuff to know that I got it, and I don't think I got it.
I don't think I got it.
Yeah,
I think
and
that
that was
you're
it, and
feeling-
we had to, and because of that group, we had to refund them. So
There-
it was that was my number one. Like I was pissed. I was so pissed. We blocked that guy immediately. Never see a sale again.
Caesar, in particular, these two guys, their follow through, and this is to any Instagram seller or seller in general. Just like Theo was saying, you got to do your homework, do your work, follow up almost with people as expecting them not to receive it, and they have all your paperwork ready to go. You
We
have your
made
tracking
people join
numbers.
our live to prove that they were human
Yeah, and
and to
so
test their humanity.
Yeah,
That-
Phil's seen
wow.
it. Yeah,
They're-
Phil's seen it. Like, oh, I don't know if I can trust you. You're dropping thousands, but because I don't want to wait till after the sale, join the live. Show yourself.
Oh,
Yeah.
Have you guys have done that? You've done that.
Oh yeah.
yeah. We'll call people. We'll take a
Or I'll
break,
have
and the
Phil
other person
DM
will
them
walk
right
in
then
the
and
room.
there. Hey, send
call.
half now.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. So like Theo
they're
will
really good at
Theo
this
will keep
stuff.
selling. Phil will walk into the other room and be like, "Hey, I need money now, and I need to see who you are." Right?
I need to
like,
hear
well,
your
you can't buy
name.
anything else.
All right.
So
And
guys,
he'll do the same
if
thing.
you're selling, take tips from these guys because, dude,
Because that is true, right? Especially if it's a name. Because listen, on Instagram, we see a lot of the same people, right? We all know almost the same names, the same
They can
handles.
change their names. They can
They
make
change their
calls.
name, right? But all of a sudden, you see XY4538 spending $10,000 on 2 books, on 5,000 on each book. You're like, okay, I'll
Pause.
claim.
Pause.
You know,
I mean, honestly, we have a rule of like over if it's a brand new buyer, if they spend over $200, we make them pay immediately that night. If they don't get to buy anything else from us until they do. We have minimums like that, but that's because we've been doing this for a while. We've got contracts, we've got rules, we've got our own. We've got this down. We've been this isn't our first rodeo. When we
Next
do
sale,
these
end of February. Don't forget.
Yeah. Our next sale is going to be with Jeff, Golden Age Guru. We're going to be going out to Seattle again, working
doing
with
it
Jeff.
again. You're gonna hang out with the
Probably
dog
about
and
a
everything.
week-long sale.
Dog
Yeah.
gonna hang out like right there.
This is
Yep.
going to be on Instagram and eBay.
Yep.
Oh,
We're going to be going on
First
both
collection sale
platforms.
to ever be brought to eBay Live too.
Yep.
Wow. As a
And
matter
you
of
guys
fact,
are amazing.
The second
I've been-
created Providence collection as well, and we're the only people that have actually sold more than one Providence collection throughout on any socials. I mean, unless you're Heritage. So and we'll have a lot more of a better deal. So but at the end of the day,
Plus, it's a claim sale,
it's
not an
about the
option.
things you put in
So
there. Yeah, and people get to make offers
less
too.
risk. Really.
Yeah. You don't have the same overheads, none of that.
Well, it's kind of funny because I've been meaning. Funny you bring up Jeff. I'm gonna be meaning to bring him on the show. Maybe I'll bring him in February so you could promote your guys' sale going on, and I could. And we do Golden Age once in a while, and I have Code Blue Comics and Crime City Comics, the Golden PCH guys.
Oh yeah,
on
good
Instagram.
dudes. Yeah.
Great guys.
Dudes.
I've had them on the show twice, and I'd love to get those guys with Jeff on and just blab Golden Age and PCH and all that stuff. Spencer, the only one going is me and James, the two guys below
Only
us
one?
are
I felt like single.
are not. They're not going to be there. But
Would have
me and
liked
James
to
will
have,
be there.
but yeah, not this year. Not this year.
But
I'll be
it's kind of.
A few others, but not that one.
But I like the fact that you guys got to get going. Rage.
What was that?
Phil, have more time. You guys have more
I
time.
was gonna say I got about 5-10 more minutes if you want to shoot off.
I can do it until about
Okay.
10:30 Eastern here, which is about 5-7 more minutes. So yeah, I can hang
So
out.
I'll tell you what, why don't we why don't we have you guys promote what you got going on for the next 5 minutes, man? Go ahead and do what you got to do.
You want to do like some single screen stuff too, even?
There you go.
Yeah, we do that. Absolutely. What do you want to do? Go ahead. Let's go with all of you guys, man.
There we go.
There you go, Theo. What do you got going on, Brody?
I have an eBay live tonight. That's what I'm doing after this. I have an IG live sale coming up in about 2 weeks. Myself and Phil will be out of Washington at the end of February for a week.
February 28th.
And yeah, other than that, changing diapers and kissing babies over here. That's all she wrote.
It's literally what he's looking at right now. So
I know he keeps looking over. I know.
I'm just like,
I know. I know.
there's the dad look. Like I got you. Hold on.
Right. I know.
Yeah,
That's why I said something, Rage, because you're like, oh,
no, yeah.
yeah, he's like, no, honey, I promise, we'll be 5
That's
minutes.
like that's
5
the
minutes.
dad
5 minutes.
nod. Only the dads in the live in the
Yeah.
chat got the dad nod.
Yeah, you're just like,
The total dead
he's got to
nut.
go. No, I promise. They're in the background going like this.
So roll it up. Roll it up.
Wrap it up,
How
pal.
about you, Phil? What do you got?
So me on my side, healing. But no, yeah, the just I want to walk. That way,
I want to walk again.
Theo's not just like pushing me around in a wheelchair to be
In a
trying to do work
wheelchair.
in between things. It's I'm planning on really just spending time getting to conventions this year and spending time making content. That's going to be my thing. It's all right. It's all
Did you
right.
see that?
I'll take
So
it.
there you go.
We like, hey, you know what? And you can find, and you know what? All 28 of you, all 28 of you can find us on Comics and Chaos on YouTube. Comics
Oh yeah,
and
Comics and
Chaos
Chaos.
on
Yeah.
YouTube. So feel free. Sunday nights, they're quiet, they're chill, they're relaxed, and then you can join our show and we'll get super, weird about things because that's what we do. But honestly, really, I'm focusing on content in our YouTube channel. Multiple YouTube channel things are going to be a big must for us, and myself included, for building my own studio here and starting to work with more client collaborators, because we've had a few and I've not really been able to humor because I haven't had time. So now I'm going to be focusing on my my brand partnerships on Instagram and things like that, creating things with them.
Well, that's some good stuff, man. Listen, if you guys don't know, these guys they're you already saw, they're great people. They're fun. They don't take themselves too serious. One has a broken leg. One can walk. One does not. And that should count for something.
Hey,
That should count for
yin
something.
and yang.
It's
Every
a
day.
yin and yang. But listen, Rage and Phil, I appreciate you guys, man, for jumping on and doing all that stuff. And
Appreciate it.
hey, sometime in the future when you have something to promote, whatever it is, come on down, just hit me up, and let's do this again.
Sounds fantastic. Thank you so much for having us. Really an honor.
Good seeing you guys
Good
again.
seeing you. Good seeing you again, James. It was an honor meeting you guys there in the audience, and hopefully we can all talk more again soon sometime.
Yeah, man. See you on IG, my friends.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
Okay, man, you got it. So James, we could just run down for the last 30 minutes. Because there's still people who are like, hey, wait a minute, it's still early. We usually go for 2 hours, but
Exactly, right?
why don't we talk about James? People are going like, oh, I remember that guy. He used to be
That
on
guy.
the show. What happened?
Well, when you asked what was my wording, I said big swings because I moved from South Carolina to Florida to start a job at Disney. I've absolutely loved it. In the process of doing that, I sold most of my comic books on one big sale. Gone. So, most of my collection has been gone and sold, and now I'm starting to focus back onto drawing and the love of comics. And I'm slipping back into the community again, doing what I love, and that is put smiles on people's faces and start reading books. Unlike Caesar, like I just didn't know the Secret Serviceman. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Hey, Spencer, what's your booth so I know what to look for? Spencer,
Yeah.
let me know.
So I just read this, The Secret Service, and I didn't know that was the Kingsman movie.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Secret Service. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't know that because I don't read very often, and now I'm starting to read, and
Ah.
and I'm doing reviews and just kind of feel good stuff on my page. A lot of Disney stuff. Right now, I have a ton of friends at the Festival of Arts. If you guys are down in the Kingdom or in Epcot in Orlando area for the next month, there's a ton of fun artists that grace my walls to this day that are at one of my parks at Epcot. So it's pretty cool.
We were talking about why certain people go to cons and why I go and all that.
Mhm.
And the two guys I went with, they were strictly going for the most part to get OAs. And you know, it's funny that oh, Billy, there you
I just
go. You know,
I just got that from David Nakayama. So,
oh, cool.
which is
Yeah, so they're all about the always, and we know always are big money, but it's a one of one, and there's something about always that I can see the mystique. I can see why people, someone like yourself, James, who for a while there, right? That's what you do. That's what you're focusing on.
yeah.
And this goes back into the focus of focusing on comic books. James had how many books would you say you had at total at one point?
Probably about 150,000.
All right. So listen to this, party people. 150,000 comics. Uh I couldn't take four short boxes and six long boxes. 100. Now, you got rid of all of it? What do you got left?
I got some left, but most of it is gone. I fire saled it to a community member. So
Oh,
it exists in the community.
you're
His
floating.
name's Sam. I can't think of his handle right now, but local guy in South Carolina was gracious enough to come by and pick up all that and spread it throughout the community, which I love. I love that
Didn't
my
it
books will continue.
it felt kind of relieving, right? You kind of like,
Yeah,
that's a relief.
yeah,
Not
and I
not regret or anything like that. It's kind of like,
no.
oh, all right. Yeah.
Kind of like what you're doing with your slabs. I see that you're doing these reels with these action figures, and
Mhm.
I love the creativity that's existing in this community right now. That's what I was trying to get. Like the selling is great, but the creativity and like they were almost preaching to that people are starting to do what they want with this community,
Mhm.
opposed to being told what to do.
Right.
That is what I wanted from the beginning, and I think we all got caught up in FOMO, in our
It
own FOMO.
That's what I was going to ask them, as a matter of fact. But as always, you start remembering things you wanted to ask. But one of my questions was, do we think that FOMO is kind of just dying out? And like they said, people are just being maturing and going,
I thought that was a
you know,
very good word for the
that
community.
is a very strong word, because as you think about it, yes, people are maturing in this community because they're starting to really focus on what they want and not pick up the latest so and so because they heard that he might be coming out in a movie, video game, whatever it is. So I'm going to go pick up four copies of it. And next thing you know, they have four copies worth not even the cover price. And it's like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. So I think people are catching up and maturing. Phil, I'm going to give you credit for that word because it was a great word.
Yeah, that was a great
Um,
one.
the and they're starting to like go, you know what? I don't think I need that, because that's how you end up with 100,000. Now, mind you, I know you had a comic shop, but that's how you end
I
up
did.
with 100,000 comic books. And when you try to go sell them, people are like, "How much do you want for that?" It's all modern crap. I mean,
Yeah,
nobody
it just
wants that.
and there's beautiful stories in there and that at the thing about comic books is, you know, when you come across a book like you're selling Superman, I'm sure they even spoke to us that there's only so many slab. These are amazing keys,
Mhm,
and then all of a sudden you come
mhm.
across you have 50 of them
Right, right.
because somebody had them in a box somewhere. That's a
Mhm.
weird feeling. That's a weird feeling because it's not a key to you anymore. So, what do you do with it? So, like, that's kind of what I was sitting on. I was sitting on not that they were keys, but I'm just saying that there were a lot of books that needed to be dispersed correctly, and
Yeah.
I love that. I love that they went.
Th-
So,
th- there was a book that you posted and it sold real quick. I was like, son of a bitch, why didn't you, James,
oh,
tell me
that
that you had that
that
book?
that thin, the
Yes, you know exactly what it was, you
yeah.
asshole. It sold. I was like, oh man, I could have like done something with James, you son of a bitch.
That guy. You
That
know who
guy.
bought it? The guy that bought it was the same guy who bought my collection.
Oh no shit.
Yeah,
Ah,
he was the first
buddy.
to fire. I couldn't believe it. I was like,
Yeah.
"Really? You need one more, I guess, huh?"
But but
So,
this community is going through, I think 2025 is gonna go through a change
mhm,
when it comes to buyers. We use the word stabilize, and we think that the comic book the 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 temperament of comic book sales now, people are like, is it going to keep going lower and lower? I think we're good. Honestly, me myself, I'm starting to also see people kind of going, I'm not going to let it go for that much. I'll just keep it.
Yeah.
So what that does universally, it kind of manipulates the market, and people are like, no, I guess the lowest cheapest one was 600 because no one's going to go below that. And next thing you know, well, I really want it. Well, then pay 700 for it,
Yeah. No,
right?
that's
No,
it.
well, in that case, I'll give you 750. Well, I really want it, so I'll go 800. And next thing you know, the prices start slowly going up. And guess what? All those people who do the last eBay sold and GPA and cover price and go collect, what was the last sold at? 9,000. Holy shit.
Yep.
Last time I saw it, it was like $5,000. So little by little, it starts to creep up. And then in about 5, 6 years, it'll go down again. I always tell people that comic books are like the stock market. It really is an ebb and flow. And will we ever hit the COVID prices? I'm going to say no.
Probably
God, God
not. Maybe
forbid
shouldn't.
anything major happens in this world of ours again, but it shouldn't. And now they're going to start to get to the price where they should have been in the beginning.
Where we
And it's
could
starting to take place.
comfortably go out and collect and buy from one another. I think the other cool thing is that we've all gotten to know each other. The community has become more tight
Oh, yeah.
in like people. The fringe sellers have been removed,
Mm.
and the trusted sellers are existing, and they know what they're doing. As you just saw with Theo and Phil, they're amazing. It's an honor actually to have them in our community and do what they do. They take collections, do it right. They do the social media stuff right, you know. So it's and then there's so many others. There's so many others on Facebook and Instagram that are doing a great job. I can't speak to TikTok. I didn't know they sold on TikTok. That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
apparently Dell keeps telling me that they do that. But it is true, Billy. We are a lot of us are in a position that now, because trust me, we always say it's a good time to buy keys because you can. But if you would have told me, hey, Caesar, at one point, thank you, James, you're going to own a Brave and the Bold 28 first appearance of Justice League, I'd be like, no effing way. That to me was my like an AF-15. You're not going to be able to afford that. You're going to be able to afford a first Daredevil. Fuck no, I'm not going to be able to afford a first. I have both of those. And it's not like I paid through the teeth. It just was the right time to buy and the right people, James.
The
So
right
that
people. Yeah.
it was the
And
right
that's
people.
what Theo, I think, just said. If you know the person's name and they know you, then you can make a deal.
Oh,
And it
right
was
here,
fun. It
John
was
City
fun.
Spartan. John is
Yeah.
one of those guys on Instagram. If you guys don't know City Spartan Comics, go follow
Follow.
that idiot. I mean, go follow
Yeah.
that fool. I mean, go follow that guy on Instagram.
I
Um,
first one of my first get to knows he broke. It never aired because
and
he broke
he
Instagram.
broke
Thank
down.
you,
I
man.
know, poor guy. But guys like him now see, John's a good and he's a good example. Shitload of books, and he does these sales, and he's focusing now more on signatures, and he
Mhm.
loves signatures, and that's what he's kind of focusing on. And it's kind of relieving when you have when you have the blinders on and going, this is what I want, because
Yep.
you don't get distracted by the shiny things like a hobbit. You don't get distracted by the little things here and there. Oh, I'm going to spend money on that, instead of going, no, screw that, I'm going to drop it on what I really want.
Mhm.
And because he's such a good guy, he will give you guys deals. And that's what it is. Everybody wants a good deal. Nobody wants to pay top dollar for something that you don't really need. Let's see, what is this idiot saying?
Yeah, he
I've been
wants
waiting
to.
on Caesar to give me a deal on the bill. I
Yeah.
know it's not gonna
You,
happen.
you might have to like get that written in his will. I'm just saying.
And not even that. Jason, I won't even know you by the time I get old and no longer in this plane.
Remember,
I
you're getting buried with him.
Oh, that's right. In case everyone doesn't know, so I came to the decision, as much as I love my daughter, that I'm gonna get buried in a piano case, and I'm just gonna put all my slabs in there, and then
How he's gonna do it after passing, we're not sure, but he's going to do it.
oh, it's gonna happen, and then it's gonna be an unmarked grave, and with just one little button, and you press the button, it's gonna say, "You son of a bitch."
That's it with the voiceover. It's awesome.
That's it. You son of a bitch. I think I found Caesar's grave.
Yeah.
But let's see, what do we say? Before we go, we want to
Oh,
before you go, we want to thank from this community for the love and support of Yahweh shown to my mom. Oh yeah, that was I mean,
thank
Angie
you.
was such a great person. She was
Mhm.
the spirit. She kept on keeping everyone there involved, and she fought for you guys when we changed dates and all that, and
Digging you
I,
up,
I
Caesar.
thank you. Yeah, Billy. You know what? Dig me up, my man. But I'm gonna be like under slabs of concrete. I don't know. Just saying. Giving me
No,
ideas.
that's amazing that you guys are so kind over there. So
No, I mean, listen, you guys don't have to Perry Meadows. You guys don't have to watch us, and we watch you because we entertain you. But this is a funny thing. And Ish was going to be on tonight, and I know you guys love Ish because he's
he's
very
wild,
knowledgeable. Unlike me, he actually knows what he's talking about.
and
But
like I know a damn thing in the world.
I mean, James. I mean, he the only thing James has on top of me is that he reads from time to time.
Just
That's
started. I'm a baby reader.
and that's it, right? So he's still trying to. I'm still trying to get through Hop and Pop. I'm still trying to figure out what's going to happen to Pop, you know. And so
Uh,
it's one of those things that you guys are here every Tuesday to be entertained, and you guys learn things about it. You guys also learn things about comic books. That's the greatest thing. And
Speaking of which, I want to bring
mm,
this up before I
yeah,
forget. So both of us are going to be at MegaCon. We're finally
yes.
going to meet because this
Oh,
guy's going to finally make it there. So if
oh,
you guys see us, I did it last year. This year I'm going to do it again. Anyone that sees us or me, I want your signature on this book. So I'm going
mm.
to do a MegaCon signature book, and everyone, and I'm not talking about artists and stuff. If you're an artist, yeah, let's do it. But I'm talking about the average person that's comic goers that know us, that love us, and do or hate us. I don't care. I'm looking for your signature on this Nova book. So there's my
That, that's
Mega Con exclusive
that's going to be
drop.
filled at the Airbnb, my man.
I know, I know,
Oh,
and
it's
I
going to be.
expect I expect a picture of you signing it along with everyone else. So there's that.
When you go to the Airbnb, you bring in the whole family or just you and what's
Thursday night will just be me, and I'll be bringing a
okay?
few books to have fun with.
Oh,
Hmm.
yeah, that's what we're talking about. Listen, people, MegaCon is going to be. I'm going to be there February 5th, Wednesday night through Sunday. And I'm hanging out with the Atlas crew. In case you don't know, Atlas is they do live sale hostings. And Frank, which you guys already know, Frank was on here last week. He pressed his books. He's Atlas. My buddy Chef David, Chef Flipping Comics, Bigger Cards and Comics, Music City Comics. We're all going to be at the Airbnb, and we're going to have a blast. We're finally going to get to meet James. James is one of the guys I was looking forward to meeting last year before I had my incident. And it's kind of funny, James. We're watching. There's a show called on Max called the Pit. Highly
Okay.
recommend it. It's
Tyler.
with
Okay.
it's with Noel Wiley. It's like going back to his ER roots.
Oh.
It's
Cool.
about the ER.
Okay.
And one of the episodes, this guy was having chest pains, and the guy's like, "Oh, your so and so's 100% clotted on." My wife looked at me. She goes, "This guy has the same thing you had." I go, "Yeah, but he's talking normal." I was crying with my balls shriveled up to my throat. So you never know. That's take care of yourself, people. From the group, let's see what's going on here. Billy, same with me at TOS. You have some extra spending money. Sell me your TOS.
See,
You know what, Billy?
they are trying to sell you or get
I
rid of
know,
all your books on this
Billy.
show.
Billy, I might believe it or not.
Oh,
I just might sell to you, Billy. Hit me up on IG because I'm thinking about selling that. What else we got here? From the group, you wind up on the hospital, we will all descend on you. Yeah,
Yeah, for
no more
sure.
hospitals for me, my friend. I am strong like bull. You
He is
know,
not going down anymore. That's done.
I'm not going down anymore. I worked out today. Today was a good day. Eating a little bit different. Health, it's the oldest thing. It's the oldest saying. What do you have if you don't have your health? All these
That's
books
time.
and everything else, and it goes. It means nothing if you're not here to enjoy it. I wouldn't be able to enjoy talking to you guys every Tuesday with Dell and bringing great guests to you guys and great content to keep you guys entertained. And I haven't seen. Normally, James and I would talk often, but he's been so busy and neglecting his brother, asshole. That
I
we
deserve it.
now that he's back, we're gonna do we're gonna do. It doesn't matter because I'm gonna see him next month. I'm
And
gonna
he's
say,
gonna. Why'd you leave me
I,
for so long? So
I like the fact that that John's here, man. He's hardly ever here, and
yeah,
he's either working or d- nobody does it like Caesar. See,
yeah. See, Team
this guy's.
Caesar's coming.
I think he won something from me actually. Uh, what is it? Let's see. A good looking nurse. Well, yeah, well, uh,
Never hurts.
it never hurts. So we have 15 minutes. Was there anything
Yeah,
else you wanted to bring up? Hey, what you think about the
yeah.
CGC hikes?
What
The CGC price
CGC?
hikes.
Oh,
Does it?
mm,
I mean, if
it.
you
I
were
don't
still in the
think.
game, would it affect you much, or you'd be like, well, whatever.
I think it. I think it's. I think it's good because it's going to keep those moderns out of there, and some things
Mm,
that shouldn't be pressed, cleaned, and the time spent on it. When it becomes more expensive, it becomes harder to press. Than when you do it, there's a purpose for it and an end goal. That's what those slabs are for. Those slabs are for showpieces, such as Caesar has in his back. I've always said it. Those are showpieces. When you slab it, it's an investment too, yes, but it's also supposed to be displayed, depending on, I mean, if you put them all away, then I don't know, you're risking cracked slabs and all that stuff. So
yeah.
the hike was necessary for their business model. So does it open the door for other companies? Yeah, it does. And
Well,
just like,
one's coming.
yeah, exactly. One's coming. So what am I doing? There's a couple things I'm doing, but
Yeah.
mostly I'm
What are
greeting
you
people.
not doing, right?
Yeah. Um, looking to just be more involved in the Disney World, but you will find me at the front gates often, especially over at Hollywood. So, saying hello to people, talking to people, making them smile, turning people's bad days into good days, trying to make those magical moments happen. That is my life goal. That is why I'm here. That's what I like doing, and I found a place to do it. I'm so thankful. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
And speaking of that, I do
Yeah.
have something I want to wrap up with. Let me find it here. Um, if you don't mind me promoting something
No,
that's
good to
happening Friday.
promote. Do it.
Friday, everyone knows and has heard and talked about the LA fires and stuff.
Mhm.
Aaron over at Josh's Comics is doing a charity event that's
Mhm.
bringing a lot of us. I know Crime City's involved. I know Code Blue's involved. I myself am involved. I'm going to be auctioning off my 6.0 X-Men
Wow.
#2 here.
Wow.
So all the money that is raised that night is going to go directly to the Red Cross there in LA and one other foundation that he is
The
seeing firsthand.
California fire, something or other. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fun.
he did some research. He's gone out in the field, seen who's actually helping out there. This money should go directly to that whenever there's a reason to jump back into the community, charity's a big one. I feel like it's a good place to go. So that right before MegaCon, it's a nice little boom boom situation that's happening, which is great.
Yeah. And many people are doing this, and once the fires happened, it hit me personally because I have friends who lost houses. They lost it all. They have a very close friend of mine who packed up her stuff. Literally, a couple shirts, a couple pair of jeans, and a passport, and was expecting to come back. One of those. I'm just gonna, just in case.
Just in case, right? Yeah.
Gone. She came back. The whole neighborhood was gone. So we as in the comic menu are now already talked about this. So next month after MegaCon, we're going to do another live auction, draw an auction, and get a couple artists in here and do the live drawing. So far we have Marat Michaels is already in. Of course, our buddy Ryan Kincaid is always in for these kind of things. And I'm working to get maybe two, maybe even three more artists. And that's one of the goals that's also that I'm doing when I go to MegaCon. I'm looking to kind of, hey, would you like to jump online and draw for charity? And all the money will go to a certain charity. We're going to find out which one. Maybe I'll talk to Aaron and say, hey, what do you think? But it
Nice.
is, if you guys don't know, it is devastating. And we've all seen it in the news of everything that happened. It's just I try to put myself there, and it's just like the waters in South Carolina, right? I mean,
Yeah, that was,
that was, and they're still dealing with it,
yep,
and they're still
100%.
dealing with it. You can't you, you can't predict you can't predict Mother Nature is so true, and there's two of them that are devastating. That's water and fire. Uh,
Hmm.
Water and fire don't care what you have, who you know,
Hmm.
it'll devastate everything. So anything that we can do to at least soften the blow, and that Aaron's what he's doing, right, with Josh's comics, and a lot of other people who are doing auctions going straight to charity, it's the best, that's the most we can do for the comic book people in the comic book community that we're in. um and yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Billy's
no,
one of
I'm
the
sorry, Billy.
Billy's
I
Billy's
know.
one of those guys, man. He's just Billy's always dropping money on these auctions, I mean, and you get great art, original art,
Yeah, for sure.
it's he's a recipient of some of that stuff, but it's good. You know, I'm gonna just end this with, we have to think 2025 is going to be the year of the people,
There we go.
of the year of the people, to be good with other people, to be kind, to be empathetic. Not all the time. There's a lot of people out there who didn't deserve the empathy because they're just
Hmm.
plain douchebags. But there's the ones who they do just truly need it. And even just the little hugs and calling that one person you haven't talked to in a few years and say, "How you doing, man?" Well,
Yep.
it's been a long time, and it is going to be, and I'm going to try to be a soldier for this, and it's the year of the good people. And
Which people
J-
he has for me, because I went through my dad getting dementia, and he's called out when no one else is called out. So thank you,
uh,
Caesar, for that. So,
James is one of those guys. I always say he always throws positivity out of his arsehole because he just the way he is. That's just the way James is. And we need more people like James to keep this world from spinning instead of spinning out of place. So, we need to just keep being positive
yes.
and keep collecting books and all that stuff. James, do you have stuff to promote? What do you got going on? Anything? Disney stuff,
Um,
even?
just mostly the charity thing, the MegaCon thing is going to happen. Um, there's a couple things with Disney that I would love to promote. Can't yet, but
Yeah.
just don't forget to get out there and take moments in your life to just enjoy life, because you don't know. My mother lost her house in a fire when she was 18, lost everything. So these fires hit home for us. Um, with my dad with dementia this past year, losing my champion with his mind is ridiculous. So you just don't know what type of soul may not be there for tomorrow. So 2025, keep positivity going. I can't believe this maturing, the community maturing. makes me smile more than anything else. That's a great
Mm,
way to have put this. We brought on comics and chaos and got maturing out of it. That is something. So
right.
that's pretty cool. And it was an honor to see those guys. It was an honor to be on the show again. I'll be hopefully doing a lot more of this, and I've got a couple of artists I want to promote coming up this year and bring back get to know maybe. So
Let's do it, right?
yeah.
Absolutely. I'm hoping to hopefully get a job sooner than later, because, well, I don't know. I want to work, and I can't live off of. Well, I can't live off of anything if I don't make any money. So it's just the way it is, man. So everyone send me their positive. All you old folks watching, there's like 75,000 of you in that room. Send me,
Send boom.
send me all the good hopes, man. Send me
Good
all the good
vibes, man.
vibes and good thoughts, and send it all to over here to Papa Drac, as I'm called sometimes. Just
It's
send
gonna
it all
happen.
to me, because it's time. It's time.
Yes.
It's gonna be a good year. It's gonna be a
It's
good
gonna
year,
be a
people.
good
Don't
damn year,
ever
and we're gonna kick it
don't
off with
ever say.
Megaton. Be following us.
Um,
'Cause we're gonna have
yeah.
fun.
Oh, we're gonna have fun. Okay. So if you want to see me do any kind of reels and stuff like that, hit me up. If you want any voiceovers, I could definitely do that whenever I want, anytime, any place. I can do it. So if you guys want anything, hit me up. I got to make some kind of money to pay off stupid books I don't read. Um, all right, guys. Next week I think is the the movie review, because we did not have
First,
it at the beginning. Yeah, the first one, because we did last first of the week. We didn't go on, so we're gonna have Mandy and Shannon back, and the three of us will be on, and maybe we'll find another fourth, since Dale's still taking his hiatus this month. And thinking about you, pal. Everything's all right, man. I got your back. Other than that, thanks, guys. James, as always, stick around. I want to talk to you in the great room for a minute.
sounds
Uh,
good.
love you
Thank
all.
you,
Have
everyone.
yourself